Good morning. Hey guys, up a little late this morning. Hold on 1 second, I'm just trying to get us sorted here. Hold on, bear with me. We're doing the weekly forecast right now, starting this week for Sunday, the 28th, into Saturday, May 4th. Sorry, I woke up a little bit late. I mean, I don't think this is too bad for a Sunday, but I was tired after last night's pop-up. It was fun. I meditated afterwards, but it was hard, like, to get my space back. The energy was good. The bugs were kind of crazy. There was just a lot going on. So it was fun to have so much activity. And definitely, I think that that stagnation energy card that we were talking about earlier in the morning from the daily forecast had moved itself away. At least for me, it had. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly felt like the energy was bouncing all over the place. So I'm here to do my normal Sunday morning 3-card forecast for the week. And the way that this works, if anybody's new, sorry, I'm kind of over here in YouTube trying to make sure that this is all in there. I think it's shared to the right groups, I'm pretty sure now. Yeah, I'm gonna just go with that. Let me close that. Okay, so what I do on Sundays is I do a 3-card spread just to kind of look at sort of what we think the energy for the group of anybody that sees this video, and what their week may entail, what they can kind of expect energy-wise coming for the next week. So we're talking about starting today, the 28th, into May 4th. And I say, since there's, I always think since there's a whole group of us watching, it's always good to kind of maybe, give each card a little bit of leeway. Like, one card could represent one day for one person. It could represent 3 days of the week for another person. So it's just to kind of give you a general idea of sort of what might ebb and flow and how we best may interact with the energy of this coming week. And then as I do go through the week, every morning I get on and I do a daily card. And then I kind of reference back to what we saw on Sunday and sort of tie it in and see if things have been changing for us, if we're sticking with our guns and sticking with our energy and what we saw on Sunday, or if something's shifting and going in a different direction, okay? Please like, share, follow, subscribe, join my group. All that information is posted on the pinned to the video, all the links to that. And it should be in the About Me page on YouTube. But let's get to today's 3-card spread if we're ready for that. Okay, so we're looking at the 28th of April through May 4th. Okay, so I'm going to say this. We might find ourselves it didn't feel like a bad shuffle in the sense that there's a super amount of resistance. What it did feel like is we might find ourselves a little frustrated because we have to work a little bit harder this week than we would want to. Does that make sense? It kind of almost has a little bit of a princess energy, like, I don't really want to do this, but I have to, but I will, kind of thing. So it doesn't feel like it's going to be like a horrible week. Let's see what the cards say. I could be totally wrong about that, but the way that the cards shuffled, it felt like, yeah, there's going to be work this week. There's going to be shit we need to get done. There's going to be all the usual stuff that goes on that's going to bring about some sort of frustrations. But the frustrations are more like, I'm, like hemming and hawing about it, but we will get it done. We will, we will sort of get through it. So let's look at what the cards have to say. So the first card, which would be probably starting today and going into the next few days, is the Three of Crystals. And this is the creativity card. Let me show this to you guys. So crystals deals with the mind, and creativity obviously is something that we always want going on in our mind because it gives us sort of like new options and opens up doors. It looks like some of us maybe are leading into this week feeling, I know it's Sunday, so we haven't actually started our Monday work week, but I think some of us are a little bit beleaguered right now and maybe feeling a little bit of this like rubble that's down below here on the bottom of the card, like feeling like, ugh, Monday's coming, I don't want to deal. But this card like calls out to us to say, like, think about it creatively, have a different sort of Karen, you have a candy hangover, I bet. I have a reading hangover. I feel kind of like wiped out. I did 19 reads last night. That was kind of insane. But what this card reminds us is to like keep our eye on the prize or the horizon, like keep looking to what the main goal is and how to get there. What is the ultimate goal? What is what is the positive thing that we're trying to get out of this week, or what is keeping our creative thoughts and minds and our thinking on what makes us feel good, what feels right, what is working for us is going to help dig us up out of the heaviness of the early part of this week and out of sort of like any struggle or any sort of frustration or any sort of like annoyance that we may or may not have with the early part of this week. Okay. So this is definitely, and this was a theme last night in the pop-up too. Like everybody was all about how they're thinking about stuff. And if we shift that, we kind of can maybe shift ourselves into a better place and at least feel better. And from that feeling better place, we can, life is a little bit easier. So I feel like that's what this card is reminding us to do, is just to sort of get creative with our thoughts. Now, midweek, we have the Four of Wands. Wands is a spiritual card. It deals with the spirit. And this card is called aspiration. And this card, it's kind of funny. They're both sort of similar because they've got a lot of activity happening at the bottom of the card, like working its way up. And to me, again, this is the card that feels like we're going to be struggling midweek, not struggling super hard, but like fighting for what it is we need. And again, like trying to keep our eyes on the prize. Like, I don't know if our minds are going to be really working on us a lot or what, but if we're not using this creativity in the beginning of this week to really think creatively and outside of the box to propel ourselves forward in a positive way, we might find ourselves by, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, really feeling like we're having to fight for everything that we're getting. It's not that we won't get things accomplished. We will get things accomplished, but we'll have to have like an extra push there. I don't really feel that push in like the resistance. It's almost like we're putting up the resistance, if that makes any sense. It's not like the job or the task at hand, whatever it is that we're dealing with, it's giving us the trouble. It's more like maybe our mind is giving us the trouble, or it's like this giant eye roll. I feel like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. So when we have that attitude, when we approach it, we almost feel like we have to fight against it or push against it harder. And that's what I'm sort of seeing in this aspiration card, is this sort of struggle or reaching and really grabbing and feeling like maybe we have to work harder than we necessarily need to. Does that make sense? Also too, I want to say this card kind of reminds us too that I think that there's something in this card that is going to kind of come up to us. Last night's group reading was really interesting to me. I thought about it while I was laying in bed, about how there was that change card in the center and how it ended on that spirit card. And this spirit card in the middle to me says, like this wands card in the middle to me says, it is also a reminder that if whatever we're working at, if we're not really turned on and inspired by it spiritually, it's going to be a struggle no matter what. And I think sometimes that road narrows and narrows and narrows and narrows. And we stay in places like in relationships or in jobs or in situations that don't serve us very well. And as we do that, we can, it starts to do like, take a toll. And so I feel like this card might be sort of like a signifier of that, where it's a reminder midweek, like if things aren't really working or if things are sort of feeling not stuck, but like feeling uninspired and like eating at you, this card is there to show you to show you that, to sort of help you sort of aspire to more. To want to induce that change, to maybe kick your ass into gear so that you start thinking more creatively to get yourself up out of the bog of the normal day to day that sort of eats away at our head. Does that make sense? So I don't think that that's a bad card to have. I think it's actually a card that, like, if we don't do the work by midweek, we're going to feel this sort of and I'm guilty of this all the time. When I don't put the effort in or do the work, I end up feeling the sort of the side effects of that. And so I think this aspiration card is kind of like warning us a little bit in there. It is saying we can do it. It is saying we will do it, but we might have to fight a little bit harder for it if we're not really paying conscious attention in the early part of the week. As to where our thoughts are at and how we're handling situations. The last card I really love, this is for the end of the week or going into the weekend into early May. And this is the Three of Cups. And Cups is an emotional card, and this is the love card. And so if you look here, there's like three little fish swimming there. There's all of these flowers pouring forth from a vase. And there's a giant rose there. And rose always is a very spiritual symbol to me of protection and delicacy, beauty, power, protection. And when I look at this card, it feels like maybe by weekend, we will hopefully be in a place where we can like slow down and enjoy sort of, if we did think creatively in the beginning of the week, and we did sort of like assess and became consciously aware of how we're interacting with our situations and shifted our perceptions around that and handled things in a more positive manner, this aspiration card might not have to necessarily remind us that we have to push harder to fight for what we want spiritually, push harder for what we want deeper inside and what feels more right to us. But if we do push hard, or we do think creatively, and we do find ourselves picking up that fight and pushing a little bit more in the direction of making the decisions that suit us more on a deeper level, that's truer to who we are inside in our heart, we're going to find ourselves in this place of this love card by the weekend, where we're going to be able to sort of bask in the love of ourselves, the love of our family. That's those three fish, like, coming around us, the people we love and care about, the connections we love and care about. We're able to give and pour forth sort of parts of ourselves, right, that are special and loving, because we were feeding ourselves creatively in the mind in the early part of the week, and also spiritually in this aspirations card in the middle week, right? So we're feeding our mind in a healthy way and paying attention to our thoughts. We're listening to our spirit in this aspiration card and aspiring to more and being willing to like sort of fight for it. And by the end of the week, emotionally, we're feeling much more balanced, much more able to give, having much more, like an abundance of love, and able to sort of really settle in and enjoy that. So I'm really hoping that makes a lot of sense to all of you this week. I'm like looking forward to hearing your guys' stories as the week goes on, and I'll be checking in every day, with a different card to see if we're staying on track with this reading or if we're like going, off the rails. Remember, it really is being conscious about how we're choosing to think, what we're choosing to give our attention to. There's that Indian proverb, or it's a Native American proverb about the two wolves, and how one is like, oh shit, I can fuck it up because I don't know. It's like one is fear and one is joy, and how do you decide which one survives, and it's like the Indian answers, and he says it's whichever one you feed, whichever one you choose to feed more. And so that's kind of what I feel like this is. It's a Native American parable. Like I know I just screwed it up, but that's what this sort of read is to me. Is it's like in the beginning of the week, we really need to be conscious of what we're thinking and how we're thinking and how we're relating. Even if we feel bogged down, even if we feel like we're entering a heavy work week and we're like not looking forward to it, we're rolling our eyes at it. Get creative and find a way to work with it that's beneficial for both you and the work that needs to get done. Aspire by midweek to continue that, even if it feels tiring. And remember, even if it doesn't feel soul fulfilling, you're working your way towards that on some level and keeping that focus. And some of you may have a harder fight than others, but the fight is there and the strength is there in this card, so you can achieve that. If you do achieve that, or you do find yourself feeding not only your mind and your soul some good tidbits here and there throughout the week, you're going to find yourself with this love card, which is emotionally, this Three of Cups, which is emotionally just at a set of love, like in a place of giving, in a place of appreciation, in a place of being balanced and feeling good, and hopefully content. So, and it's interesting too, as I'm writing these down, because I want to always refer back to them. It's funny, it's 3-4-3. You've got the Three of Crystals, the Four of Wands, and the Three of Cups this week. So I don't know if 3-4-3 has any significance, but that just pops out at me too. When I also look at the three cards, there's a lot of activity happening in all of the three cards. So I feel like this is going to be a busy week just in general for all of us. So don't be surprised if you're busy, and don't be beleaguered by being busy. Try to be happy that you're engaged, or that you're, try and shift your perception about, okay, I might be busy, and yeah, maybe it's that princess energy of, I don't want to deal with this, right? Don't give in to that. Think, okay, good, I'm busy. I'm of value. I've got something I need to do. I need to get it done. Let's get it done, and move forward. And how you relate to that and how you get it done is going to lead you through this week to hopefully this love card at the end, which is a pretty blissful place to end the week out. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you guys insight into the week. Thank you all very, very so much. Those of you that were on the pop-up last night, it was incredible. It kind of blew my mind. It was really, I was like, so sort of, my energy was like super high last night, and afterwards I had to meditate for quite a while to kind of come down and be able to go to sleep. And I woke up this morning almost feeling kind of hungover in a weird way. I think I just, connecting to 19 different people in 2 hours time, and all of that was a lot. But I'm glad that I did it. I had a really good time, and each and every one of you that was there and participated helped me to see that, this too is a possibility for me. And so I need to be just as conscious this week as how I relate to my stuff and my work in my mind. And hopefully there will be another pop-up this week. I'm going to pick a night, and we will do another one this week. And that's about it. I will see you guys in the group. I love all the comments, and I read them all, and I'm enjoying them. Good morning. I'm sorry I'm not even seeing everybody. Good morning, Joseph. I'm on a 12-hour day, 12-city stretch. Joseph, girl, pretend like you're Beyonce. You're on tour, girl. Like, live like you're on tour. Just tell yourself, I'm on Beyonce. I am Beyonce, and shake your hair that's not even there. Like, pretend like you got big old Beyonce hair, and own it from that place, and see if you can have fun with it. Have fun with it. Embrace it. Change how you relate to it. Don't be like, oh my God, help. It's 12 days. It's this long. It's been so long. Blah, blah, blah. Change it. Shift that energy. Get creative. And it's going to get you to a place where by the end of the weekend, hopefully you'll be done with the tour, and you might have to dig in a little bit harder during the midweek, but you're going to be in a place of feeling accomplished and love, and you will have energy to give back to others. Welcome, Asmer Lover for Tingles. That's an interesting name. Please subscribe if you want more psychic tingles from my videos. I love it when new subscribers join. I have 3 readings booked today, so I'm going to have a busy day today. Miss Kelly is on here. I see her. She's going to be one of them. I left a suggestion for you about the pop-ups on your page. Okay, Karen, I will look for it and I will read it this morning. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to do, and I got to get prepared because I have quite a bit of. Karen is saying, Joseph, I don't know if you can see this. Karen over on Facebook is saying, because Joseph's over on YouTube. Karen is saying, work it, Joe, but a WERK. You know how to work it. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching. Please share the videos, like them, share them to any groups where you think they could be utilized. I need views, I need follows, I need likes. I need to get it out there. This is my dream. This is what I want to do for work. Not just these dailies, but doing private readings. Private readings are available. They're $40 an hour, bookable via PayPal. And all that information is pinned to the post. It's done over the phone or Facebook video. They're much more detailed and much more tailored to you as an individual, because that's who I'm actually reading. So that's available too. That's the business portion of this that I want. But please, reach out and contact me at the business page if you're interested. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow, actually.